Say have fun in your podcast. Say I love you.
I love you.
Welcome to the Negroraguan Podcast, brought to you by the I-70 Connect. 30 pieces. This is 30 pieces of silver, and the other co-host is the KC Stork. Our friendship stems from our military connection, but has progressed beyond that. We are men of color, representing the Latino and Black communities, respectively. As men, we are not perfect, but we embrace the progress and growth from our shortcomings, whether it be from the interactions within life, friends, family, and ourselves. This podcast is just a conversation amongst friends, openly discussing topics that interest us, stemming from entertainment, parenting, life, sports, mental health, current events, and whatever is on everybody's mind. And today on this episode, we have James Jefferson. So what's
Hello.
up? And Joe Jeff.
What's up?
They both have been signed to guaranteed contracts for the remainder of the year. We have
nigga making that coin, boy.
Yeah, we have the KC Stork. We demoted him back to the bench. He's back in the G League. He picked up an injury, playing that rec ball that he talked about. He went in, he tomahawked it. No, just playing. No, I don't know. No, he's out traveling, but we leave him to his devices. And so what's
fornicating is what he's doing. He's fornicating.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, I'm not gonna. He put the DM business on the podcast. I'm just gonna let him be. We briefly had to block and remove certain comments, but we'll leave that there.
Okay.
We'll leave that there. But anyhow, so what's going on, guys?
Man,
been a hell of a week politically in this country. So, just been observing all those goings on, the good and the bad and the ugly.
Nigga, the bad, the worse, and the ugly. What you talking about?
Nah, it's been some good. It was some strides made.
All right, so
somebody's right.
All right, so let's do like a quick, like kind of like an open discussion just about. Because I mean, the elephant in the room is I guess we want to discuss the politics. I mean, we know we're going to get into that and just the results of on the Kansas side, on the Missouri side, how it affects, how things may affect going forward on all our behalves. But let's do like a quick around the table, just kind of if you got anything off your chest to get off about since Tuesday about, what happened in politics. Or, just, anything that you may want to just get off your chest that we may or may not cover later on. But we are, just keep in mind, we are going to talk about some politics. And I'll start, I guess. I'll start. I know for me, we always preach about voting and going out to vote and especially showing up for the midterms. And we did just that. I mean, me and my wife is a registered Republican, which is fine. She says she did it by accident or whatever, but I believe her. But she is going to switch to Democrat. But anyhow, she was able to vote against Cobalt on both in the primaries and in this on the general elections or whatever. And fortunate, somehow, some way, Kansas was able to pull it off. They came to the census. Chris Cobalt did not get even the majority of the votes. He didn't even get a lot of the votes that So Kansas, they showed up, and I'm glad that a lot of people didn't throw away their votes by voting independent, which I think Gary Owens on the Kansas side was a great candidate to vote for. But at least this time around, he's not gonna get a lot of the votes being an independent. You know what I mean? And I know we talked about that before with being a two-party system or having a third party, but the reality is that we have to play within the rules of the game, the confidence, So, and in this game right now, the rules are, you got to be part of the two. I mean, occasionally you'll get that one independent, you know what I mean? But, I guess the situation and the environment has to allow that to succeed. But in Kansas, is already a red state. So you already know you got to be part of the one of the two parties, and even then, when you're a Democrat, you have to kind of cater to the right a little bit if you want to if you really want to be in contention. So I'm happy that Kansas showed up, but again, they showed up with the majority of the votes, but there were still some red votes, there were still some right votes, so it was still competitive in the end, but I'm glad that overall
Frank,
they showed up.
I just have to say, man, I am super surprised at Kansas, man. That was a jaw dropper, man. Like, I don't know that I have ever seen Kansas elect a Democrat anything statewide.
Yeah, and that was more surprising to me. Not the fact that they voted a Democrat in.
What was Kathleen Sebelius? What was Sebelius?
Sebelius was I thought she was a Republican.
No, she was a Democrat.
She was Democrat.
Well, I know she worked in the Obama administrations, but Obama was trying to go across the aisle too. So
she was a Democrat.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe they had it before. Okay.
Well, I mean, they did, but
she was like a lone wolf almost, because like it was all both houses of the legislature were Republican. She was kind of working on her own. Yeah. She was like an anomaly when she was governor.
Right. I just know that I was floored when Kobach didn't win.
I think you can kind of thank Brownback for all of this.
Well, yeah, that's definitely Brownback.
I think the sour taste that Brownback left in Kansas voters' mouths definitely spurred the governor's race and Cerise David and those others are winning yet.
Yeah, and I don't know about the Cerise David. That might be a different paradigm, but I would say I know Kobach lost. I don't even know who won. What's her name?
Laura Kelly.
Laura
Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
People didn't vote for her. They voted against Kobach because
I mean.
Sure.
That's
what
true.
I posted was, man, Kansas were just tired of their schools not being funded.
Well, that too. I mean, it was one of those things that
and the whole tax debacle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the we're not going to tax you and we're not going to spend, and then your schools end up having to be cut back to bare bones to the point where your kids are not getting educated properly. You know what I'm saying? So I think they were tired of that, and they decided to vote against Brownbackism and go with Kelly. So
well, because Kobach, he's the idiot that said he was going to reinstate the Brownback taxing measures.
Yeah.
We're going to try this again, even though it failed miserably. We're going to try it again. Yeah, right.
Right.
So he's a Trump disciple.
Well, so much for. Well, yeah, I mean, but I think with Laura, you're right. That is true. They weren't necessarily voting for her, but I guess I gotta give credit to Kansas because they could have easily gone to an independent vote. You know what I mean? And to me, and I said it before, I think if you
I don't see that.
If you vote independent right now, you're throwing away your vote.
Governors don't. Yeah, I mean, you can get independent sometimes on lower levels. You don't get independents that win a state governorship. So
see, because even here,
it's a rarity. It is a rarity.
Yeah, I mean, because
Jesse the Body
wasn't right.
He's the Body up in Minnesota.
Exception, right?
What's his name?
Who?
Fucking Bernie's an independent.
Yeah, but he's always
Yeah,
side.
is he independent? I mean, I know he's independent, but he's still on the Democratic ticket though.
He might have ran
president. He did.
I tell you what, yeah, but I tell you what, I think he usually runs independent, but I know for a fact that, well, let me not say fact, but if you go back and check Maine, I believe the Maine senator won again as an independent, and there was a Republican and a Democrat to follow on the ticket. You know what I'm saying? But they did not. So there was a Republican and a Democrat, and the incumbent was an independent and remains an independent, but caucuses with the Democrats.
Oh, okay.
So when we're counting up senators, we count
right.
That
They have like affiliations with Democrats. They're not true independents.
But there was a Democrat on the ticket running in opposition.
Right, but
this person was truly
already well established.
This person was truly an independent. Say again.
But they were already established. They already had the seat, didn't they?
Well, yeah, they were the incumbent. But I put it this way: I don't know if they won the seat as an independent, but I know as an incumbent they ran as an independent.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I didn't say it never happened. I just said it.
Right. But
it's rare.
But even here, so I just pulled up and I put this in the show notes. I need to make sure I keep it. So in Kansas for the governor's race, you got Chris Kobach, which is basically he's just another brownback guy, and he's a douchebag. I mean, how the fuck are you gonna show up to one of your rallies and put a 50 caliber weapon mounted on a Jeep? What the fuck? And then you're gonna put that shit on a parade, and after you had these mass shootings occur. Anyhow, so he gets 43% of the votes, and then Laura Kelly gets 48% of the vote. So that was a good showing, because I mean, damn, she almost got half the population, really. And I mean, I think Greg Gorman as an independent, I think he has good ideas, and I could get behind him, but not in this midterm, especially not in the environment and the situation that we're in with 45. We really don't need to waste our votes. So these 66,000 people that voted for him.
I didn't catch that. So the independent. The Kelly didn't get 50% of the vote.
Mm-mm.
Oh, so that the independent might have came in clutch, because that's what happens when the independent comes in. Does the independent kind of lean to the right?
No, he's really more in the middle. He's middle. I think he might be
middle, but I'm saying, is he middle left or middle right?
I think he might be middle left, but don't quote me on that, because I think yeah.
Who he ran? Didn't he run against Brownback?
He might have. I would have to pull that up, but I mean,
or the senator Davis. He ran against one of those in 2016. And I think he ran as independent, but left, like you said, a left-leaning independent, I think.
Yeah, he might have.
That's how Clinton won in '92. He was running up against HW as the incumbent, and Ross Perot jumped in as an independent, and Perot didn't really have a chance of winning, but he was middle right, and he siphoned enough of the HW votes away from Bush that Clinton was able to walk through that door. You see what I'm saying? And gain an electoral majority. So
it could be
Kansas here,
and it could be. I mean, just like how one of you stated earlier, they're not voting for Laura Kelly; they were voting against her. Because I mean, if you really look at it, 66,000 votes, and what was
against Kobach?
Yeah, for the independent, and what's that like? So let's see, what's the difference between Laura Kelly, which is 489, 337, minus 40, 43, 346. So I mean,
hold on, man.
What?
I turned in a math class.
Here you go. Oh, are you guys not seeing the screen?
You get that technical, bro.
Carry the three. This nigga
are you not seeing the screen?
A little far now.
I got it seen on the. I got it on the screen. That's why. My bad, guys. Because I'm showing the actual results on the screen.
Yeah, we see it.
Yeah. So I mean, the difference between Kobach and Laura Kelly was 46,000 votes. I mean, Greg Orman got
Yeah.
66,000. So I mean, he might have siphoned several votes from the
Off of
Republican
Kobach.
side.
If he siphoned most of those votes from Kobach, and Kelly was able to walk through that door. Yeah.
Well,
I think his presence made a difference. I agree.
No, for sure. I mean, it has to be. So, but anyway, I went a little bit long on that. I mean, I just wanted to say that. As living here for 10 years now, I never really thought that there's a lot of young votes too out here, and change is it's gonna happen in a generation or maybe 2 generations. But it's good to see that there's people like even in my precinct. I haven't shared it with you guys, but even so I was on ticket, even though I can't take it. I got over 1,700, almost over 1,700 votes, for precinct clerk or mission clerk that in my area or whatnot. The guy that won, he won 30. He got 30, almost 3,500 ticket, 3,500 votes. So. I mean, and I didn't really campaign. People don't really know of me. So, and again, I think I could have been probably a byproduct of voting for somebody other than a Republican. Yeah. You know, because more and more often than not, that position is run, it's run unopposed, basically. So
yeah. So Frank, I'm holding up a glass to you, bro.
What's that?
I'm holding up. I'm saying cheers to you, bro. Little Hennessy White, man. Just clink.
Clink. All right, cheers. I got some Smirnoff Orange, so.
Well, yeah. Hold it up, man. There you go, man. Gotta throw some back, man. Yeah. Congratulations on that, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't win, but I didn't win, but I mean,
that's awesome to be in the runoff, man. In the to be the nominee for an office, man. That's really kind of cool, man.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
really cool.
I was really surprised that I even got in the primaries that I won for, you know, and the Democratic Party, the Shawnee County Democrats, they were really excited, you know, because I check all the boxes, you know what I'm saying. I'm an illegal immigrant, military man, married to a white lady. Moved from Miami to over here, veteran, service connected.
Gay.
Not gay, but minority, brown, works for the government. You know what I'm saying? I check all the boxes.
So transgender?
No.
There you go.
See, here we go.
You check all the boxes.
All the boxes.
Hey, look, the way Kansas vote. I mean, we do have the first lesbian Native American women out of Kansas.
Yeah, we can't start without talking about Miss Davis.
Right, Native American lesbian MMA fighter.
MMA fighter.
She's ex MMA fighter. She'll go to Washington and whoop ass.
That's what I was saying on that last episode, because a little attack commercial came out, and they were showing her little footage from. I guess one of them bouts. Dude, she was wearing somebody out, man.
Right. Yep.
I was like, dude, how you gonna be?
You never seen her flex? She got done.
Dude, for real, man.
Yeah.
Like you gonna be on the house floor having a debate, and somebody gonna have to back down because she might snap and fuck somebody up for real, bro.
Right.
That's good, but I'm good. Anyhow, so I went over. I mean. So that's my little spiel. I know I went over again. So you guys are on the Kansas. You guys are on the Missouri side, right?
Yep, we are.
All right. So first of all, did you guys go? So we'll start off with Joe. Did you go vote? And how was your voting experience? And how do you feel? How did you feel going into the night? How did you feel now? A couple of days removed. How do you feel about it?
I live in the urban core. And so a lot of times you'll go vote and you can kind of get in, get out in like during your lunch or that type of thing. Because, it kind of depends on the election. But, I remember when 2008, when Obama was running for the first time, lines were out the door around the corner. And you know what I'm saying? You just knew there was going to be a minute before you got to vote. It was pretty bad in this 2016 election too. We were standing in line, and you had those. You remember because they were worried about voter fraud, so Trump sent some little white dudes out in suits to make sure that the black folks wasn't cutting line or some stupid shit. I don't know what I don't know what they were supposed to be looking at, but they was making sure we was stepping and fetching, and we was in line and not doing all kind of chicanery or whatever. And it was pretty cool because Chris Kobach, who was running for Senate at the time, showed up, and I got my daughter to take a picture with him. But lines were pretty long that time too. I was gonna try to jump in and vote before I went to work on Tuesday, but the lines looked to be long enough that I said I better wait till I go home. You know what I'm saying? So I got out of work relatively early because I'm a teacher, as opposed to getting off at 5. And so the lines weren't too bad when I went. I'm sure they kind of picked back up afterwards, but I got in there, did my thing and got out, no problem really. So I couldn't tell you if it was abnormally long or short, but I was talking to, a friend of mine that lives in the rural part of Missouri, and he said lines were especially long out there, and I think that's part of the reason why we saw the results we saw as far as the Senate race in Missouri with Claire McCaskill versus Josh Hawley. So Josh Hawley was getting support from those mid-Missouri Republicans, and I think that was the story of that. So that was my experience.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about it? Like now, a couple of days removed, and so because I'm pulling up the map right here. You got Clay and Jackson County. Boone County is surprisingly when.
Well, that's I think we had that conversation. That's Boone County is Columbia. That's,
okay.
That's the University of Missouri. So when you have college campuses, you tend to have a little bit more liberal minds.
That's true.
So yeah, that's city of St. Louis and surrounding areas, city of Kansas City and surrounding areas, and then the University of Missouri. And so the people who live there. So that's pretty much what you're looking at there. The rest of the state is red, man. I mean,
surprising that Platte City is red. But they are closer to Leavenworth too. So
I mean, I'm not surprised at all.
Platte is red, very red. I'm not going to disparage anybody. But I work out. I do my bonds a lot out of Platte, and Platte is almost like it's in the country, man. Even though it's just a little bit north of the airport.
Yeah, I guess that's why
it's a very rural attitude there. Put it that way.
Okay. So I see that. All right. So So I mean, Joe, do you mind sharing what you voted for, or I mean, do you rather keep that private? I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you.
I consider myself to be an independent.
Of course you do.
But no, I do. I really do. Go look at my Facebook page.
Are you registered independent?
You don't register independent. You just be independent. Well, I put it this way. This is Missouri. This ain't other states. You kind of got to register to vote in the primary. I know, like, if you want to vote in the primary, you just kind of got to pick a ballot. So, like, in the primary, if you want to vote on the Democrat ballot, you have to tell them, hey, I want to vote on the Democrat ballot. They'll hand you a Democrat ballot.
Oh, okay.
Or I want to vote on the Republican ballot. They'll hand you a Republican ballot.
Oh, okay.
In the primary, I didn't vote. I was kind of pressed for time because I was doing it during my lunch break. And there was the only thing I really cared about was the ballot measure on at the time. James, you remember what the ballot measure was in the primary? It wasn't the airport. No, what was it? It was like
Had we already voted on the airport then?
Yeah, the airport was about a year old.
Oh, because the airport was early in the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
It was like in April.
Something like that.
Yeah.
There was something on the primary. There was something on there. I don't know what it was though.
And so whatever it was on the primary, that was the main thing that I was concerned about voting. So I just got an issues ballot. So I basically got an independent ballot in the primary, and I
Okay.
just voted on that one issue because that's all that was left after the political stuff was done. I voted on that one issue and got the hell out of there. But when it comes to general elections, I have been voting Democrat pretty consistently.
Okay.
And I think for me, it's really been a check and balance. I think the Republican Party is out of control right now. You know what I'm saying? So I just think I think they have ran to the right and they have moved away from me. I consider myself to be a moderate. Um, so I've been voting Democrat, not necessarily because I completely agree with every Democrat,
Right.
but I just feel like the Republican Party has gone further and further to the right and just gone away from the values that I hold. And there are Democrats that are moving to the left as well, but I think the Democrats at least attempt to maintain civility. You know,
Right. I mean,
uh,
the reason I ask is because here in Kansas, and like I said, how you mentioned that here in Kansas, like if you want to vote in the primaries, you have to register
mm-hmm,
either independent. You can still vote register independent, but you won't have a say in like the
mm-hmm,
Democratic ticket or the Republican ticket. And like I said earlier before, it's like we are in a two party system. Even though we allow other parties or whatnot, independents. I mean, I really wanted to I really want to be involved. I wanted to be involved in the Democratic side, even though I am more of I would be more of a liberal. I am more of in the middle of the road because I don't believe in everything that, like, I still want gaming. I believe in
mm-hmm,
gaming. I think we should allow racetracks in Kansas, whether it be dogs, horses. We should allow slot machines in them as well to provide revenue for education.
yeah,
Other Florida does it, West Virginia does it, other states do it, and we're a state that doesn't produce additional revenue as tourism or whatnot. So we
mm-hmm.
need every stream of revenue that we can.
Well,
So
I know of at least two casinos in Kansas,
right,
and I know they used to have a racetrack. I don't know if they still have the racetrack, but I know
right.
they used to have.
They closed them down. They closed them down. It's just the proprietors didn't feel like they. It's kind of one of those things that they use the racing to get the slots in, and once they got the slots, they let go of the racing. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm,
they played
mm-hmm,
that card, um, and I just they put their it was their interest, and they filled the pockets. They lined the pockets of other politicians to get behind all that. But whatever. But yeah. But anyhow, so because I was gonna register independent, right? But they said
mm-hmm.
like if you register independent, you won't have like the lady was like, if you vote Democrat, if you register Democrat, then you'll have a say in who you want your party to represent, basically. And
Yeah,
to me, that was at least for now. It was really important. I believe in getting behind. If I'm gonna be a Democrat, I'm gonna get behind somebody that's gonna be closest to what I hold dear, close to me or whatnot. But I also want somebody to represent the fucking party as well. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah.
don't
I just don't
I don't
stand
need
for
a complete.
everything that the Democratic Party
Yeah,
platform stands for. So that's my
yeah,
problem.
yeah. The only thing,
I can't subscribe to the party because
yeah.
there's some tenants within the party that I'm just like, no, that's not me.
No,
You know.
I completely get that. And I respect that. But for me, it was more important that I have a say in what Democrat was going to represent me, or who I want.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want I don't want a total leftist. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I need somebody that's more closer toward the middle. They don't have to be in the middle, but if the closer they are to the middle, then I'll vibe with them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean,
that's who I
in other
want.
primaries, I voted in other primaries.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever voted in a Republican primary. I may or may not have. I know I have voted for Republicans at large before, but and I'm telling you, I just feel like the last 10 years, there has been a complete paradigm shift. I think once Obama got elected, I think the Republican Party went nuts. And I don't think that's the same thing that it was before. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, since then, no, I can't bring myself to do it. For no other reason than to just balance all of the right wing nuts that are in the state house, that are in the Congress. I've been voting Democrat. You know what I'm saying? So, just to balance it out, because I mean, I feel like our government needs to have like Trump has been operating for the last 2 years with all gas. He's got his foot on the gas. He's had a Republican. He's been the Republican in the executive branch. He's had 2 houses in the legislature that have been Republican, and now he's built a Republican court that's going to last for another 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So everything he's wanted, he's been able to get. Now, he may have had to go the long way around to get certain things, but he's gotten pretty much what he wanted. I feel like the government needs a break. He can't have all gas. He's got to have some break. You know what I'm saying? So the developments that we've had in the House of Representatives, I think, are healthy for the country. Because I just think if we keep going to the right and doing what the right wants to do, I just think, I mean, he's really not governing the whole country. He's governing half the country. He's not even pretending to want to do what's best for Americans. He wants to do what's best for Republicans. And he really doesn't give a shit about moderate Republicans. He really wants to do things for his base. You know, so I mean, this clown was on TV the other day and talking about how the people who didn't ask him to come out and stump for them, he's like, I'm not too sad you lost. You know what I'm saying? It started naming names.
Oh, like, yeah. From his own party and stuff,
you
man.
You don't want me to come out there and stump for you? Oh, well, you lost. See ya. Wouldn't want to beat deuces. He was out here doing the most, man. Yep. That's your president. I don't know what to tell you, man.
That's your president.
So, I don't know, man.
You voted independent. I heard you. I got
you
on record.
I didn't vote. I registered independent. I vote in the primaries. I pick a side. Not in the primaries. In the general election, I pick a side. You know what I'm saying? But cool. in the primary, I was like, I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? I knew Claire McCaskill was going to win on the Democrat side. She was the incumbent. I knew that Emmanuel Cleaver, that's not even a question. Emmanuel Cleaver, as long as Emmanuel Cleaver wants to run for the 5th District of Missouri, Emmanuel Cleaver will be the representative from the 5th District of Missouri. I mean, he might, dude. That's red, man. And so, Frank, Emmanuel Cleaver was the first black mayor of Kansas City. Emmanuel Cleaver has a street named after him in Kansas City.
Right.
Emmanuel Cleaver was my pastor. Is my pastor. You know what I'm saying? So when he comes home on the occasional Sunday, I go to church and Emmanuel Cleaver is there. And we'll bring the kids by to say hello. And, you know, I've been to D.C., been to his office, you know, kind of shook his hand, you know, that type of thing, said hello and everything. You know, he married me and my wife. He conducted the ceremony that married me and my wife. He conducted the ceremony that christened my oldest daughter. So, for me, as long as Emmanuel Cleaver's running, he's got my vote. You know what I'm saying? And he's got most of Kansas City's vote. So, to vote in the primary, he didn't need me to vote for him in the primary. He was good.
Right.
You know, so, I mean, like I said, I was trying to vote during lunch. I just had one issue in my mind. I wanted to vote for that issue and get out of there. So,
well, I mean, that's cool. I mean, I get it. I'm just giving you a hard time. But we went over a little bit long. I know that's why, you know, sometimes this show, we wanted it to be structured, but after a week like this, like this past week has, and you know, I know we all have emotions, and I didn't forget about you, James. So here, give us your 5-10 minutes of, you know, did you vote? How'd you feel about going to vote? What you feel a couple of days removed with the results? You know, what do you're on the Missouri side as well, so
yeah. I I knew what the lines were going to be like on Tuesday, so I voted Monday down at Union Station at the election board office.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Simple. Took me about 10 minutes. My timing was good too because there was other people that had the same idea. So like I came in, and then like 15 people came in behind me. So, because I mean, it's like, I mean, technically we don't have early voting in Missouri, but we got absentee. All you got to do is tell them you're gonna be out of town. So that's what it is. That's your why you voting early today or absentee. You just say I'm gonna be out of town and say okay, and you just give you a ballot and you go. So yeah, so I was in and out.
Did your ballot get counted though? That's the question.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like, because you voted absentee, right? Yeah, but you're voting absentee though, and your absentee votes don't count unless the race is closed. And I don't know what it is per state.
Well, I asked that, and they said it's counted. They said it was all electronic, so it's counted.
So if the absentee ballot is like one of those situations, let's say you're in the military and you're
not a mail-in, but it's not a mail-in absentee.
Okay,
I wasn't mailing in. I was using an electronic machine, so it was in the system.
Oh, so they didn't count it as, it was just basically early voting. They didn't call it early voting.
They just don't call it early voting, but it is early voting.
Because I'm always cautious and curious about that because was it like, so when I was so for the anyway, the last election cycle, I forgot to register. Well, I didn't forget. I did register, but they never switched me from where I was at to the new township that I'm in now. And I showed up, and it was gonna be. They gave me a what do you call that? It wasn't an absentee ballot, but it was whatever type of ballot. But that wasn't. It wasn't gonna be counted yet, because I knew that it gets submitted, but only if the race is too close to call or whatever. Then they'll pull those in. Even
that's provision. You voted on
provisional vote. Yeah. But even I know, like when I voted when I was overseas, I did vote, but my vote didn't count unless again the race was closer. I think in Florida it had to be under 1,000 votes or under 2,000. If the race is decided and it's still within 1,000 votes of victory, then they will bring in the absentee votes and the mail-in.
Are you talking about on a local election?
Yeah, that's not right.
That's extremely narrow for the whole state.
Yeah, I mean, Florida is fucking ridiculous. Because
they're doing a recount now in
Florida. Yeah, I'm telling you,
isn't it like if it's under 5% or like 0.5%?
We could look that up.
Yeah, I forgot what it is that does that.
Well, Florida's fucked up anyway.
No, I am very aware.
They always have ballots
hanging chads and shit.
Right, they kind of notorious for that.
Yeah, I mean they are. I mean, and I'm not surprised that they're in the news again. So
yeah, no. This is basically early voting without the early voting name attached to it.
Right. So that's good though, because you want to make sure that no, I don't want to do that. That you want to make sure that it counts or that they count it as like a regular vote, not a absentee.
It is.
Provisional. That's good. So
absentee just means that you're not going to go to vote on, for whatever reason, you're not going to be here to vote. Now, if you mail something in, yeah, you never know what's going to happen to those. Because anything you got to send through, snail mail, you never know what's going to happen. But this is electronic absentee voting, so it was, as far as I know, it was instantly counted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
haven't heard anything different.
Because I even know in Georgia, the Georgia race, they were counting overseas votes too.
No, they have to, because Georgia is out of control, nigga. They need to fix that situation.
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about that one when Winston's back on.
The whole Georgia election should probably be thrown out and redone, considering way Kemp is basically tried to manipulate it, has manipulated it to his own benefit There's no way he should be running in an election that he's in charge of. That's ridiculous.
Well, that's the same thing that Chris Kobach was doing. When Chris Kobach, because right now
he recused himself though.
No,
the election.
No, they asked him to recuse himself. Remember in the primaries?
But he did before the actual election.
But it was still his office that was like, because it was for the primaries that he was running against whatever the sitting governor right now in Kansas is. He's a Republican as well, but in the primaries, so people. I thought the sitting governor was gonna get it, but Kobach somehow, some way,
So Kobach out primary the sitting governor.
Yeah, and Kobach is he's the AG right now. His office oversees the election.
Well, the sitting governor was just whoever took over after Brownback quit, right?
Yeah, so he was
but he was still a Republican.
Well, he was a lame duck anyway.
Not lame duck.
He could have.
He could have. He wasn't voted into the office. Kobach already had popularity in the state.
Well, shit. Look at Truman. Truman took over for FDR, and they thought he was lame, but he ended up beating Dewey. And that newspaper picture.
Not according to the newspapers.
Well, I'm saying, but the next day they found out for real. That's why.
I don't know if I compare. I don't think that's the same thing. At least people knew who Truman was.
That's the exact same thing, bro. I'm saying, I put it this way: lame duck is when you don't have a chance to run again. You know what I'm saying? In 2000, the reason why Merrick Garland isn't a Supreme Court justice is because Barack Obama was a lame duck president. You know what I'm saying? Lame duck is a situation where you not gonna run. He just was a bad candidate, or just didn't.
I hear that. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But that's interesting. So he out primary somebody, huh?
Yeah, and there was a lot of controversy already too. So
So did he recuse himself for the primary, or did he certify that vote?
I think his office certified it. Yeah, they had to.
But did he? But was he?
No, I'm pretty sure he had already stepped down by then.
Well, let's see. Hold on. Look at that. Come on. They shortchanged 70 votes to Collier. So I'm reading. So man, look at this. Like some votes in the primary were Kobach and Collier to represent the Republican Party. It was really close. Some of these numbers, Kobach 522 to 422. That's exactly 100 votes, bro. In a small town of what, 944 in a county, or not population, but I guess registered Republicans. That's 50-50. But anyhow, there was a big thing about like Kobach or whatever, and so. But anyway, he lost. I don't care. That's really all that matters to me.
Fuck him.
He didn't immediately recuse himself. So
yeah,
it wasn't right away. It was until after the primaries that because there was some not recounts, but his office had to confirm or certify the votes or whatever, the results, and he wouldn't do it right away.
Oh, you know what? I think I remember, because I think the Kobach actually because there was some kind of recount, wasn't there?
It wasn't a recount. It was the office still has to, because each county gives you the results, but his office statewide has to collect those votes and results and then certify them to make it official.
I thought that race had some kind of recount to it, and then he didn't recuse himself until partially through the recount or something like that. Something along those lines.
That's fine. He lost, so I could care less. But anyhow,
it's amazing to me that these states wouldn't have in their constitution that if you're going to be the Secretary of State who is in charge of certifying the vote, and you're planning to run for another office, statewide office, be that Senate, be that governor seat, be that lieutenant governor seat.
You got to step away.
You should have to step away from that, man.
Yeah, automatic.
Re-election for if you're running for a second term. You should have to step away from that. I don't know. That seems to me like.
Yeah, you have to recuse yourself because.
Right, because
the optics of it.
Georgia's knocked like 500,000 voters off the rolls during this.
Mm-hmm.
And then locked up. Was it 1,500 voting machines?
Bro, look at this. Look at the results for in Georgia, right? So the governor's race. So the guy that won, Brian Kemp. So he's got 1.974975 votes, right? Minus, and Stacey Abrams, she picked up a lot of votes, man. I mean,
yeah. She's hoping that he falls below 50%, so there's an automatic
recount,
automatic runoff.
The votes are what, 63,000 votes difference, and that's the difference. And then the liberal got 37,000 votes. Libertarian, whatever, yeah. So he got 37,000 votes, and the difference between Kemp and Abrams is 63,000 votes.
Yeah,
that's still really close, man.
Well, but the thing was that you had people in Atlanta, lines around the street, couldn't get in there to vote. They
had polling stations with one machine in them,
and they found machines that were locked up.
Now, real talk. I think there was only one machine in our polling place too. I think most people just took a paper ballot. I took a paper ballot.
Oh, you had one. See, ours had one electronic one. You could do the paper ballot and then fax it in. But we only in my precinct we only had one electronic.
Yeah. There was one machine. I feel like there was one machine, like electronic machine. And then I think everybody else did the paper ballot where you run it through the scanner and do that. So I think it was a similar situation with us. But I mean, I don't know. I don't understand.
But who knows what the availability of paper ballots was? I don't know how Georgia's system works.
Yeah, I've never voted in Georgia, so I have no idea.
Apparently it caused a big problem because it was
backed up tremendously. So I mean, I like if you're not gonna have, if you got 1,500 machines and you're not gonna use them for a midterm, what are you gonna use them for?
Exactly.
Like, what are you waiting on using these machines for?
Not only that, the most anticipated midterm in decades.
In decades. I don't know, man. That's just.
I mean, come on.
I hope she's able to file suit and get some reciprocity here, whether it's a runoff.
Yeah. Well, he finally did step down today after he's already rigged it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. After the job is done.
After the job is done, he's like, all right, I'll step down.
And then he can go ahead and say, "Yeah, I stepped down. I recused myself."
Right.
He only recused himself after he realized, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna win. Okay, I'm out.
The job is done. I can step back now.
But yeah, I guess, James, you were right though. I guess Georgia, you have to have, it said it right here, you have to have a 50% plus one to
certify the win.
Right. So, but they're saying here that since the race is so close, they're still counting some of the votes as of this article.
Still counting. No, that's why she hasn't. That's why she refuses to concede.
Right, because they still have the military, the overseas votes, and the absentee ballots. So
yeah, I think it's. But I mean, Florida, they're still finding ballot boxes, stuffed ballot boxes.
Right, that's in Florida. I was talking about Georgia.
I think Georgia has something similar where they're like, oh, here's some ballot boxes. I guess we should count these.
Right, and she doesn't need to win.
Bigger than the lost votes, though, is like you said, the people they had washed from the rosters.
Yeah.
Right.
Their exact match system. If you had a hyphen in your name at one point and you don't have the hyphen anymore for whatever strange reason, or you just fill out the paperwork with a hyphen one time and didn't fill it out with a hyphen the next time.
Right.
They were expunging everybody from the list. So
right. Or if you hadn't voted in the last 2 election cycles or something like that, they take you off then too.
From the registration?
Yeah.
If you had not voted within the last 2 election cycles, they were taking you off the rolls.
What?
Yep.
Man, I guess. I mean,
yeah. And so basically, people showing up to vote and getting turned away because they're not on the rolls because he is going through there.
And then what you're going to have is you're going to have provisional ballots because still by law you're still allowed to fill out a ballot, but it's provisional ballot that have to be certified, down the road. So it's a mess, man. It's a big funky mess down there.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm hoping that we could pick up this conversation, especially with Florida and Georgia, when Winston gets on or whatnot. So
yeah, that's cool.
Because I know he's got strong opinions. So, but yeah, we could pick that. We could revisit. Let's wait and see what the results. Hopefully, but the next time we get on or record, we'll have an update on that result, and then maybe we can, capture how we, felt before, and then how we see it going. But you both guys from Missouri, one of the big items that was on the, no pun intended, but on the ticket or whatnot was this medicinal marijuana. So but none of you mentioned it.
What about
it's not my issue.
It's not really my issue either.
Okay, all right. So
I think, I'm all for the decriminalization of marijuana.
Yes,
usage, I am.
Yes, and that's what and that's what I was leaning more towards. I'm not talking about like the recreational use and all this. No, I'm talking about like all the ancillary items that can be essentially be positively affected by it. At least for you guys. I mean, I'm looking at like the decriminalize. It may not decriminalize it right away.
This is what I'm.
But it's a startup.
Did this ballot measure decriminalize marijuana?
Well, it's a step towards it.
It's a step, but you have to.
Well, you know what? It's already been decriminalized to a certain extent.
Well, that's going to be based on what an attorney general is going to want to do. I mean, they can decide how. Basically, the Obama administration on a federal level decided they were not going to pursue. They were not going to waste their man hours pursuing those type of issues. Whereas under Jeff Sessions, they decided they were going to go ahead and ratchet up the war on crime, war on drugs again. At the state level, I'm assuming it's the same thing. If the state wants to pursue, drug busts on petty weed hustlers, you know what I'm saying? I guess they can, or they can choose not to and decriminalize it.
Right, but if it's but it's really
more a step towards not doing that.
Right, and if it's law, then you can't really go against it.
I'm not saying that this totally is. It's not a recreational measure. It's a right now. It's a medical measure. It's a step. These are steps that they usually take. California kind of did the same way.
Right.
They went from medicinal to now it's recreational and that sort of thing. It's like a step-by-step process. Like take the Band-Aid off slowly instead of ripping it off all at once, basically.
Right. Yeah. And even then, like, so so there was a recent report that came out of Colorado. They've already reached $1 billion revenue. And it was been 5 years, I think it's been now since they legalized it. So they've already hit it well ahead of schedule. And you don't hear a lot of like drug busts out of Colorado. You know what I'm saying? You don't. I mean, at least not nationally. So I mean, and that was one of the biggest fears. Like, okay, what is it going to do? Is it going to bring in more drugs, or are there going to be more accidents, more this, more that?
Well, now that is the issue I've heard with car accidents.
Where and
for traffic incidents involving marijuana, that's gone up.
Right, but it's just kind of like, but again, it goes back to decriminalizing it. So like, if you get
it's not. What I'm saying is that I think something that's gonna have to be done with the whole marijuana thing. People are gonna have to treat it like they treat alcohol.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You don't drive with it. You don't show up at work high. Stuff like that. So I think like recreational doesn't mean that you can just smoke anytime, anywhere, as much as you want, and you still think you can function in society. You're still going to adhere to some kind of rules.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey man. So I'm a teacher, and we talking about the ballot issues, and I got these kids, bro. So and I'm like, hey, let's talk about the election. We got weed, nigga. Nigga, hey, we won, nigga. We got that weed, nigga. What's up with it?
Oh,
I'm
man.
like, bro, slow down.
I know. That's what I'm. And that's my point is that we're gonna have to get away.
It's got to be education. It's got to be education. Motherfuckers talking like, yo, I'm about to be walking down the street blowing at the cops, nigga. What's up?
And that could be possible. That could be possible if you're walking in the streets.
You can't do that.
No, hold on. Hear me out.
And I had to tell. They was like, "Yo, I'm about to have this shit up in school." I'm like, "No, you're not gonna have this shit in school."
No. What I'm saying is,
alcohol been legal. Fucking cigarettes been legal. You couldn't have neither of those shits in school. You are not bringing fucking weed.
Well, no, I get that, but certain states and certain cities allow you to walk
talking about
with alcohol
right now.
But
we know in Colorado and Washington and Oregon,
nigga, they not letting kids bring marijuana.
No. Well, I'm not talking about the kids. I'm just saying walking around the streets smoking.
I need to know this. In Colorado, in Washington, are they allowing kids to bring marijuana to school?
No. I think you still have to be over 18.
Nigga, can you bring if you're an 18-year-old, can you bring marijuana to school?
And teachers come in and and light up a spliff in class? No.
Yeah,
nigga. Hey, I'm taking my.
No, because it's a smoke-free environment.
Class here in a minute. I'll teach these little niggas.
No, because it's a smoke-free environment, and it should be a tobacco-free environment.
There got to be some structure.
Yeah, right. And that's gonna be like in the bylaws of your employer. You know what I'm saying? That should be in the bylaws of your employer. You don't want to show up, smelling like alcohol, and be in front of a computer.
They throw something like weed every day.
Right.
Smoke weed every day.
Right. Well, I guess what I was trying to get at is there's nothing wrong with walking around and smoking. Now, you can't be acting a fool neither. You can't be a what they call it, a nuisance to society or whatever. But if you're just walking around like if you're smoking a cigarette, now unless they outlaw smoking in public areas, then yeah.
But wait a minute. But think about this. You can't just walk around drinking. You can, but like.
No, I've been cited for that.
Some states.
I was in DC. Had an open container on the subway, man.
Right, that's what I was thinking about. Open
container.
Yeah.
I got a citation for that in DC, man. I was like, I can't drink, nigga. I'm not driving, nigga.
Right.
They
can get you for that. If a cop wants to be an asshole, they can get you for it here.
They can get you. Yeah.
Container laws in Missouri.
Same here too. You have to be within like so many steps of feet of a drinking establishment or whatever. So
you better be, because it's like when you go past a certain a part of the sidewalk or off the patio or something like that.
Yeah,
establishment that you can't do that.
Yeah, even at your house you can't. I don't think it
you can sit on your porch and be in your yard, but you can't be out on the street.
Yeah, but what I was saying is that people could smoke cigarettes out in public. I mean, not in every venue or not in every place, but that's basically what it's gonna be too. Like people are gonna be walking around smoking. Now,
it's not gonna be like
that. If you get behind a vehicle,
you didn't listen to what we just said. It's probably gonna be the same kind of thing. It comes to the alcohol. It's gonna be the same thing with the weed. You can't just walk down the street smoking a joint. You're not gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna have to be designated places where you can do that, man.
And right now you can't do any of that right now because it's only medical clearance now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and hopefully, yeah, I understand that, and I know that, like how you said, it's baby steps. You're not.
Yeah, and what's happening right now is this makes it so once someone that is truly using it for medicinal purposes, you know, weed or CBD oils or something like that, because there are people that really need that stuff for their medical conditions. They don't have to worry about, being arrested or harassed about it because they need these products in order for them to stay healthy or relieve pain or stop. Like the CBD oil is really helps really with seizures and that sort of thing. They found that helps out tremendously. So there were some cases not that long ago where it wasn't allowed in their particular state, so parents were going to other states like Colorado and picking it up and bringing it back for their kids that needed it, and they were getting arrested, and they were threatening to take their children away because they were giving them this stuff that was really helping them. That's the kind of stuff that this will avoid.
Right, and hopefully the population and the behaviors are to the point that are tolerable, and so that that next step can occur, and hopefully Kansas follows suit, because again, I mean I know people are looking at it in the smoking and the recreational, but I'm looking at it as another stream of revenue that you didn't have before. Because, Missouri, you guys have somewhat of a tourism income or revenue that comes in out of Kansas City and St. Louis, and even down in Branson. So you guys get some tourism revenue or one benefit.
But the state is always broke for some reason. Who knows?
I mean, yeah. So, but
they constantly cut. They always cutting. It's always cut at the social level.
Of course.
Guns and butter.
Right.
Guns and butter. We're gonna spend it on the guns. Don't spend it on the butter, man.
Right.
Right. So I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that Kansas gets ready to introduce one. So, but I'm looking
States are still watching Colorado and Oregon and Washington. They're seeing what they're looking at them long term to see what the long term effects are of them, going totally legal and seeing what happens, and then they'll be more inclined to do it. But they're gonna wait a good 5 to 10 years and see what's going on with them before you start seeing other states go totally legal.
Yeah.
Especially beyond the West. And you're talking about Midwest, Bible Belt, and all that. It's gonna be a while before they do totally, legal marijuana.
I've been talking to some of the Democrats here in Shawnee County. I talked to a couple other ones in other counties, like some of the ones that are behind some of the candidates or whatever. But that's a big item on the Democratic ticket here in Kansas. They did a survey a couple months, actually I think a year ago. They wanted to test the waters, kind of, so to speak, to see how people felt about the marijuana subject. So they included it in kind of like a voting area or whatever, or a thing. And so people, I mean, I think it's like over 53% of Kansas wanted to at least start the conversation about it. So, and I know the Democrats are getting behind that. They're getting behind the agriculture effect of it and whatnot. A lot of the Western Kansas folks, it's really, there's a lot of land out there. There's a lot of farming areas, farmers. So a lot of them are into, they're looking at that as a potential, benefit to the agricultural community or whatnot, both in revenues and also providing jobs and all that stuff. So, I mean, who knows? But brown people are not coming to work these lands, so I don't know who's going to work them. So,
no, they ain't gonna let them in.
So, but anyhow, so we'll talk about that. So let's go back to the docket after an hour of conversating. So, pressing on. Let's try this. Let's see this. Hold on. This is our segue sound. Hold on. Anyhow, that's kind of cheesy. Anyhow, I'm never doing that ever again. Yeah. My bad. Anyhow, so we had, that was our lone wolf sound. So we had a lone wolf. incident a couple days ago. Actually, about a week ago. A couple days ago in California with the 12 people that were shot one night. Some of the people that were part of the Vegas massacre or whatever. So, again, man, another lone wolf, white guy, ex-Marine, you know. So what do you guys think about that? Not all at
That's
once.
just not even on my radar anymore.
Okay.
I just,
James?
somebody else shot somebody. Okay.
No? Okay. All right. So that was our lone wolf segment. Anyway, so let's go to this one. We talked about this earlier on our pregame, the Jim Acosta video. I'm gonna play the video and then we're gonna react. Or do you guys want? Well, let's see. Let's play a little bit and then let's play a little bit and then let's react as it goes. So this is Jim Acosta asking the Trump a couple questions right after the election night. So this is the next morning. Here we go. Jim Acosta to Trump.
You know, it happened a few days ago. And
they're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Oh, sorry. This is they're opening up with the caravan and the invasion and the false fear that Trump started. But let's see.
So he's challenging on basically calling these refugees, this caravan, an invasion, and so. You know, it was a political stunt. Nobody wants to talk about the fucking caravan anymore.
Nobody.
And when they get to the border, they'll be probably dealt with accordingly. But he want to act like it's an invasion.
Right. Because you know they were saying there was some of everybody in there. There was Al Qaeda was
up in there.
They were gonna put
MS-13s up in there.
MS-13. It was Viet Cong in there.
They come in here. They gonna hide your wives, hide your kids, hide your wives.
Right. Oh man, because Fox News was just putting on a show, man. I mean, it was
scaring people to the polls, man.
Man, it was ridiculous, scandalous propaganda. I mean, it was blatantly scandalous.
Right.
State TV, man. State TV.
Right. So here we go. Let's continue.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question.
Every time I hear this shit, yo, let me run the country, you run CNN. This arrogant prick, yo. Like,
he's an ass. He's an ass.
Fucking idiot. All right. So now he's throwing a tantrum. All he needed to do was just cross his arms in front of him and then just start pouting like a little baby.
If I may ask.
What was that?
He did cross his arms and pout. He walked away from the mic, then walked back. You know, he's a little beware, man. Go ahead.
Another question: are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I was
enough.
going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President.
That's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other
Peter,
question, if I may ask, on the.
So did you guys see this doctor? I'm gonna show this on the show notes. So did you guys see this doctored video of the White House aide that was trying to take the microphone from Jim Acosta? Did you see the doctored video of that one that they released? Yeah.
No, I didn't see doctor. I didn't see. I
saw it.
I heard about it, but I didn't see
So
it.
this is the actual video that you're seeing right now. And I'll put this in the show notes for people to see too. So here's the White House aide is gonna try to reach
Mr.
out
President,
to.
I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned about anything with
you
the
may have
Russian
indictments coming
investigation
down?
because it's a hoax.
Are you-
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
He just walked away from the podium, yeah. Like, he's such a little bitch, though. Anyhow.
Yeah, he's it's something. He got a blue tie on though. What's that about?
And no ring, no wedding ring neither.
I think that's to commemorate the blue wave.
The blue wave.
Tsunami.
Damn, good catch. Let's see.
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
Yo, he has the stones on this guy to call somebody else rude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I tell you what, man. I was reading through some posts. I got, a former mentor of mine that is retired and moved to Florida. And so he put out a post about this, and a lot of the retirees down there that are Republican are patting Trump on the back, man, for standing up to Acosta. They think Acosta was accosting this woman. You know what I'm saying? It's like she was out here, like he was out here, you know what I'm saying, being rude to her and being rude to him, and he had that coming.
But that's his job. Man. That's the press. If the press is not allowed to ask questions, who is?
You gotta ask the right questions. You gotta say pretty please with sugar on top.
I like this guy in the back right here in the video. He just has his hand raised, waiting to be called on. That's just funny. Let's see.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Go ahead. Go ahead, Peter. Go ahead.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts his butt.
Well, I'm not
like
a big
the rest
fan
of
of
us.
yours either. So
I understand.
To be honest.
So let me ask you a question, if I can. You repeatedly
You aren't the best.
Mr. President, you repeatedly over the course of the...
just sit down, please. Well, when you report fake news, when you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
Mr. President, over the course...
You are the enemy. So here we are. The press is supposed to be free from any type of swaying people or anything like that. There should be the independent voice of the people, right?
Trump wants to be a dictator, man.
Yeah.
Trump has made allusions to how much he admires Putin, how much he admires Kim Jong-un and the way they handle things, and he's talked about, one day the United States will have a president for life. The United States will never have a president for life. That ship has sailed. FDR fucked that up for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So he just wants so badly to be a dictator.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And these little details like fucking free elections, they just get in the fucking way of his agenda, man, and it pisses him off, man. I don't know. So I don't know. He's having these tantrums. I don't know. This ain't the first time he's gone off on Jim Acosta. But what's funny to me, what I find funny, is that they went ahead and took his credentials, so he's not ever able to go to White House briefings for at least a period of time. I don't know how long.
Right.
But the shit that cracked me up, I was watching CNN this afternoon, and so since Jim Acosta can't go to White House briefings, CNN made the decision to ship his ass over to Paris, where the president headed today. And so that shit, that's just a whole. So when we talked about how fucking petty 50 Cent was last time, when he bought out them Ja Rule tickets, I'm like CNN's trying to throw their hat in the ring, man. You fucking kicked Jim Acosta out the fucking the White House briefings. Oh, okay. Well, you want to go to Paris, Mr. President, to go celebrate the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I? Cool. Okay. Well, let's send somebody to cover that. Who we gonna send? Jim's not doing shit, right? it ain't like Jim got shit to do. He ain't gonna be in the White House.
Right.
He has to over to Paris with the president. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was the perfect level of petty. I would like to say kudos for the petty CNN. You have my approval. know what I'm saying? So I could just imagine the board meeting at CNN where they was like, where it's like the president's going to fucking Paris. Who we gonna send?
oh, here we go. I found the article on here. It says CNN's Jim Acosta trolls Trump with tweet saying he will cover the president's visit to Paris after the White House stripped him. And look at this picture here. You see it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Petty at an all-time high right now, though.
So kudos to CNN. That was some delicious petty right there.
For real. But yeah, other than that, like, how do you feel about Trump just having his administration just removing? I think that's dangerous. That's a dangerous precedent to set, to be honest. Because even now he's trying to get April Ryan's credentials, threatening to pull her credentials as well now. So, basically that's sending on the message as like, if you rise up, then we're gonna shut you down or cut you off. And just kind of one of those things that Trump is known for. Every time he walks into a morning briefing, he wants people to tell him how great he is and why they like him. That's what he wants his cabinet to tell him before the briefing starts. So now he's coming to the pressers, and if you're not saying anything good about me or good toward positive towards me, I don't want you in this room, basically. So, I think that's a dangerous precedent.
That's a dangerous precedent to be setting.
He doesn't want a free press. He wants a compliant press. He wants a press that's going to throw him softball questions and that is going to make him look good in front of the country. He doesn't want to
be a dictator.
Right, exactly. Like, and this is how dictators are formed. This is what they do. They shut down all enemies, whether they be in the press, whether they be political enemies, social, whatever. They shut them down. They make up reasons to do it. Like this thing with Acosta saying he assaulted this staffer when it's obvious that he didn't. Whatever excuse they need to push that agenda. And as long as nobody's going to check them, they're going to keep going until someone stops them.
Right.
And nobody's trying to stop them. The responsibility of stopping them lies with the Congress, and they're not going to do it.
Right.
Hold up.
We see. Hold on. Before you get there.
You got Annie Maxine out there. Hold on. Now.
Yeah. Before you get there.
But you got Pelosi still. At this point, she's still top dog.
All right. Hold on. Before we get there,
it's not a priority.
Hold on. We'll get there. I guess fuck it. Let's just get there. All right. So,
right. We don't think we're going to get all these agenda items off to that.
So okay. So we're already going off script anyway. So I'm trying to keep up right now. But okay. So yeah. But we know that like Jeff Flake, he's not gonna run in. But he's not really saying anything to challenge the president. And we already know Ryan. That wet noodle, like you called him, he's not gonna do anything. So, because he's not gonna push back.
Well, see, Paul Ryan's out though, right?
Yeah,
and actually, one thing about it is that it still can't happen because he can be impeached in the House, but the actual trial has to go through the Senate. And they don't have the votes in the Senate to actually convict him on an impeachment.
But what I'm saying is it's not going to be necessarily impeachment. Doesn't have to be the end all be all. We're talking about bringing what's done in the dark to the light. Okay.
Right.
So if we're saying that he is out here firing people without just cause, be that FBI directors, be that forcing Jeff Sessions to resign,
right?
You know what I'm saying, prematurely. If it's his taxes, now you've got a body that is going to be willing to hold hearings to bring to light the issues of the day to where it will be in the public eye, where the media will be present to find out. And so even if it's not a situation where I could see a situation coming up where he has done something so egregious that the Republicans have to go ahead and jump on board to save face. But we may not see a removal. We've never seen a president being removed, but we have seen 3 presidents be impeached. I could definitely see him getting impeached, but maybe not removed. But if there's something so egregious, they might even be able to turn over whatever moderate Republicans in the Senate there are, and see about doing that if they have something come to light. So now that you have committees that are going to be chaired by Democrats,
right? No, that is going to make a difference,
right?
They're going to be able to have hearings. They're going to have subpoena power, and the power of the subpoena is going to be able to call these people to the floor that were before they weren't willing to deal with.
But see, here's the thing though, like and I put this on our messenger last night because I was getting frustrated, and I think James was the only one that read them. But it was just talking about this old guard within the Democratic Party, and the Pelosi, and I get Maxine Waters. I get that she has a big voice and she has a lot of influence. But now that they're in the position to do something, I can't put faith behind them, these 2 women that are basically the face of the party right now. I can't put faith.
You don't think Maxine ain't gonna play games?
Maxine's gonna push.
She says she was, but already she's already saying that she's gonna dial it down. Like she may not. She's gonna try to get it, get into this committee. It may not be right away, but so she's already like putting.
No, she's gonna head the finance committee.
Say what?
Yeah,
she's gonna head the finance committee.
No, she is the head finance committee, right? And they asked her.
Yeah, I mean, when
she will be.
She will be. Right.
Right. No, I'm saying, but she is going to head up the finance committee.
Right, and they've already asked her of that, and she's been kind of more or less like, yes, this is something I want to do, but it's almost like she's going to put the filler out there to see how how it's going to be received before I go forward.
I'm sure they're going to consult with each other within the party to see exactly what.
Well, there has
to be a game plan. There's going to have to be a game plan.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't just they don't want to just go out here and run off at the mouth. They don't want to do that.
Right. And now see, this is the difference. Like, it's easy to bark from the outside, but now that you're on the quote unquote the inside now, and you actually have that power to push things now, things may change a little bit. And how, do I really want to do this? Because at the end of the day, they gotta do self-preserve, and even like how going into this election, there's a lot of people, a lot of Democrats, and a lot of like young voters that were interested to see if Pelosi would run for Speaker of the House. If
that's gonna be an issue within itself.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, is Maxine Waters gonna have some of that pushback as well from the new leadership? There's 100 women that are gonna come into the House of Representatives under the Democrat. I think and the majority of them are going to be Democrats.
The issue with Pelosi is that there is a contingent that does not want her to be House Speaker, but there's like no real competition for her at this point either.
Right. And that's the other thing. It's like, okay, so because we've been let down by the Democratic Party before when they got into power. So are we going to see? And that's why maybe Trump said, well, Pelosi should be the Speaker. Basically, offhand endorsed her because he knows that he can push her around. Not saying because she's a female or whatnot, because to him he sees that as, he doesn't see her as an actual threat. You know what I'm saying? So, and as a Democrat voter, I don't want Pelosi. I want Pelosi to move away and pave way.
I don't know that Pelosi is a pushover. I just think Pelosi is associated with Obamacare. I think the reason the Tea Party formed is because they felt like one party rule shoved Obamacare down their throat, and they hold Obama responsible for it, but they hold Pelosi equally responsible for it. And so I just think that there is just this negative stench around Pelosi.
Yep.
That, I mean, whether she's effective or ineffective, I think there's just this
she's got a reputation.
This reputation nationally that is a negative connotation. And so what I'm saying, good, bad, or indifferent, I feel like they need to go ahead and seek out if there's another person out there just to rebrand.
Yes.
If nothing
Rebrand.
else,
Exactly.
If nothing else, to rebrand.
Because if people are encouraged right now because they're seeing this new wave of Democratic Congress people coming in, and if they think that it's just the same old people running it, you're gonna lose a lot of that momentum that you have.
Yes.
And in 2 years from now, they'll be right back in where they started before. They'll be losing all those seats. It's happened before.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think just on pure objects, you have to you optics. Excuse me, not objects, but just on pure optics, you have to make that change. And it could be one of those things that, just visually, physically, someone else, Pelosi steps down, lets some of these new fresh faces or whatever come in and take reins or whatever.
No,
and then have Pelosi in the background running the shit. But
that ain't, you're not gonna have a freshman congressman take over.
No, not freshman. I said fresh face or just somebody that's been someone else other than Pelosi. At least for optic wise, you know what I mean? Because that's what we're gonna look at. We're gonna see who's at the top and who's running it. Are two different things for me, because you could be behind the scenes and still run the show. But who's your spokesperson? And I think it can't be Pelosi if we want to keep this momentum going. Just like James said.
I don't disagree. At all. I think
go ahead.
I think they'd be wise to go ahead and look in a new direction. But when it comes to the finance committee, though, I think Maxine's going to take that spot, and I think Maxine. Now, I think she's going to be a team player. I think she's going to work within the greater construct of what the Democrats are trying to do.
Right.
But I do think that she is going to be calling for those tax returns.
You know what I think is going to happen? I think she's going to use that as kind of like that as an option, but not an actual. It's more of a threat than not a real option. I think she's gonna float that idea around whenever she's trying to get something accomplished.
Let me be real clear. If Trump continues to assault the Mueller probe,
that hurt my chest when you said that.
Oh yeah, he's out here trying to assault the Mueller probe, man. He's out here when he's firing FBI directors, when he's out here firing attorney generals because they won't fire FBI directors.
Right.
That's Nixon. That's Bloody Sunday or whatever that was called.
Saturday.
So if he's going to continue to do that, Maxine Waters is not going to stand by idly while this motherfucker's trying to get away with murder. She is if he continues to do this, guaranteed she's going to call for those tax returns because they need the ammunition to be able to look to see if he is violated the emoluments clause. So if he is out here making money off of foreign investments in his hotels or whatever else, you know what I'm saying? If he's making money on the because he's not taking money for being president. But Trump does nothing for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So he's making money somehow, and we need to find out where his streams of revenue are coming from. If they're coming from outside sources, then that is a violation of the Constitution, and therefore he's created high crimes and misdemeanors, and he needs to be impeached. If he has,
there's I think some more information came out about the Michael Cohen thing today too. I think the New York Times put out an article.
Mm-hmm.
that has him like dead to rights kind of thing.
Well, they said that he knows. They found more information that he ordered the payments to Stormy Daniels and the Playboy model as well.
Right, and that he knew about it, and that's what the charges.
Not just that he knew about it. He said get it done. He orchestrated. That's a difference.
Right. See, he was said he was involved in or briefed on nearly every step. Mm-hmm. So that's what the Southern District of New York is charging. They're already charging with criminal charges to their. I think the New York Post revealed that breaking news earlier today that the Southern District of New York is preparing criminal charges on Trump. Not his Trump organization on Trump.
If he continues to try to subvert the investigation, and Maxine Waters is in charge of the Finance Committee, she is going to use her subpoena power.
Look at that.
To call for his tax return, so we can know that if he's got Russian money coming in, if he's got whatever sources we're talking about, they're going to need as much ammunition they can get if he tries to subvert the Mueller probe.
I think that was it's a non-stop train. There was also an article today about Donald Jr. telling his friends that I'm going to be indicted soon by Mueller. I know I am.
Well, and that's another thing too. I know as of yesterday, I was listening to CNN, and there was a breaking news on CNN that that Mueller is not only preparing they're writing it up now. The final findings or whatever, that they're also wanting. I guess I don't know what committee it is, but I think some of the representatives are calling for him to testify in front of whatever committee or whatnot, because especially now after Whitaker was appointed as acting AG, they want him to make it. That's the only way to make it public, basically. Like if they come to a public hearing in front of whatever committee, House committee or whatnot, they want.
This was Whitaker probably gonna try to do if it's so late in the game. There may not be much he can do because if they actually like fired Mueller, that set off that's a shitstorm they don't want.
Constitutional crisis.
Right, but they will try to, and he actually mentioned this in an interview, Whitaker did, that you can just drain all the resources out of it.
Right.
Well, let's talk about how Whitaker got his job, because I mean.
Oh no, I heard this story too. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, what'd you say? Whitaker was he a daredevil character?
Kingpin. He's the Kingpin. Google Kingpin and look at the picture, and then look at him, and you'll know what we're talking about.
So this motherfucker, from what Don Lemon said and several others, basically he was auditioning for his job by coming on to CNN and other networks and basically downplaying the legality of the Mueller probe. So he's basically saying this is. He was saying this is a farce. He was saying this is a misrepresentation or misuse of funds and that type of thing. And so basically he was playing up to the audience of one. He's really trying to get in Trump's ear so he could get a job.
He thought he was going to get a judgeship in, I think it's from Iowa or something like that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And he ended up being acting AG, and he was like, "Oh, okay, that came up more than I thought it was."
Well, before that, he was an implant on Sessions' team, on Jeff Sessions' team, as to run the office. But basically, what he was there to do was be the mole. He was there to report to the president on what Jeff Sessions' actions were, because Jeff Sessions was a loyal Republican, and he told the party line. But Jeff Sessions was also his own man, and
he also recused himself,
and a senator who was acting on the best interest of the country as opposed to his party, and recused himself because he saw impropriety there. And so basically, that's not Trump wants, complete and total blind loyalty. So he wanted to put this guy.
Why got rid of Comey?
This is why he got rid of Comey.
Mm-hmm.
So Whitaker is there to report on Sessions' actions to the president.
History.
But the president act like he don't know this dude.
Right.
Like
Yeah, that was earlier
today.
today. Earlier today, he said that he doesn't know of him.
I don't know.
But a month prior, he was quoted on Fox News saying, "Yeah, he's a good guy." He does a good job.
This guy comes regularly. He comes regularly to the White House and has meets with him.
They've met a dozen times.
Oh, like several times.
But
yeah.
But Trump does that all the time too. He's always talking about he doesn't know somebody that he actually knows that he's met. He like when I mentioned Little John, he's like, I don't know who Little John is, and they was just like, what? He was on the show. Oh, well, whatever. Yeah.
Well, when
you don't forget Little John.
Well, when he called himself, he calls himself
that dude.
Well, he called himself a nationalist in front of an oppressor, and then April Ryan.
Well, that's what April Ryan got. Yeah. April Ryan got fucked up in the game for asking a very good question.
Good question.
See how you willy-nilly throw around nationalism as if that's cool.
Right.
Oh, come on, man.
Well,
I don't know, man.
and Trump said he was a nationalist.
Didn't he?
Yeah, that's a racist question.
But he called himself a nationalist, though, on video.
That's racist. Can't ask him that.
Anyhow, so this is the Kingpin Whitaker. The picture side by side.
Side by side.
Yeah, if you see it. So
that's old boy from
It's a D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
But what's the fucking this is my weapon. There are many like it, but this one is my Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Motherfucker that went nuts and shot the drill instructor, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
So the guy in the tie is Whitaker, and then here's Vincent D'Onofrio. So, but yeah, go ahead.
That's why everybody's saying he's the kingpin. That's why.
So how did it? So go ahead, Jeff. Like, so he got this job.
This guy Whitaker, he's like a power lifter too. He like fits the kingpin profile all the way because the kingpin in the comic books is like a big, gigantic, wide dude. Like powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude's like a power lifter in his part time and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, he's straight up this too. And he's nefarious. He's up there. I guess his little company that he was associated with just a bunch of people out of money.
Well, yeah, they were saying that he has never been through a confirmation process, and so if he was going to go through one, there was
he was going to get vetted.
Yeah, there were 2 or 3 companies that he had some very nefarious dealings with that was going to come to light. I don't know, man. This may be a temporary situation, but he was definitely a plant. In the eventuality that he might get rid of Sessions, because I mean that's been brewing for months, for a year, if not more.
They basically been keeping the White House has been like, don't fire Jeff, don't fire Jeff, and he's been wanting to fire him forever. He wanted to fire him the minute he said he recused himself.
Yeah,
and they basically just been like holding him at bay up until now, and he actually just finally just said, I'm not listening no more. Fire his ass.
Well,
the Senate was upset about that too because he was a senator and he was one of their own.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham was the one that's like there'll be quote unquote holy hell.
Full of shit, though.
Yeah, well, remember Lindsey Graham was like, there'll be holy hell to pay if he fires Sessions.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham is a bitch.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Something had to happen
He
did a 180 on Trump, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like. Either he was, they got pictures with him with little kids.
Sure.
They have to be. Like,
yeah, they probably got Lindsey Graham with some little boy.
They have to, because he did. I mean, it's not funny, but we're not gonna go that duck boat route.
Yeah, they got him. They got him on some. They got him on like some Frank Underwood.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He out here House of Cardi, bro.
Yeah,
right.
Out here diddling little boys, man. That's what he's doing, right?
Has anybody started watching the new season yet?
Dude, I watched about 20 minutes of it.
Yeah, I watched about half of the. Maybe I watched the first episode. It's not the same without Frank.
Hey guys,
It's still fairly interesting though. I'll probably watch it.
I mean, yeah, but if it was Frank there, I probably would be already done. I would have binge watched the whole first season.
Right.
Whole season, I'd be done. I'm probably, like I said, man, it's gonna be like eating vegetables, bro.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna sit down with this mountain of broccoli.
You better add some cheese or some ranch or something.
They ain't got none. They got
Salt,
rid of. They got
salt
rid
and
of.
pepper.
They got rid of my boy Kevin Spacey. They got rid of Kaiser Sose, man.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Kevin spoke. Well, Kevin Spacey did was wrong. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I'm not gonna be here and be a supporter. I'm not gonna call him my boy, Kevin Spacey. But I mean, if you want to stand on that island, Jeff, that's.
No, fuck that. Look, he was fucking entertaining. Look, he is not an ethical person. The character wasn't ethical. I think I said this shit when we did this shit. He became the fucking character. He was. You know what I'm saying? Frank Underwood was Kevin Spacey.
That's why he was so good at it, apparently.
Yeah, the motherfucker was the same dude. Damn. But what I'm saying to you, he's always been a fascinating actor, okay?
Oh, yeah.
They have lost that element from the team, man. And so they killed his ass off in like the first 5 minutes of the show.
And they're trying to make Claire like Frank now. Like she's doing like the talking to the camera and all that, and it just doesn't work the same.
No, I mean
it just don't work the same.
Dude, I don't know Claire. Look, I put it this way: I've known Kevin Spacey for 20 some odd years. I've known this woman as long as she's been on this show, and she doesn't carry this. She's not the same actor, man. I don't know, man.
Nah.
So you saying that women they can't play, that they can't carry
I didn't
the show?
say women.
I'm just saying.
If you put Angela Bassett
trying to put you in a trick bag.
Yeah, man, put Angela Bassett out there. Let's see what that do.
Ooh, damn, that'd be something right there.
Man, I bet she would kill that fucking role, bro.
Oh man, because she had a small part in the last Mission Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
She was cold in that. I mean, it was a small part, but she was ruthless.
Yeah, man. She can totally do that shit. You know what I'm saying? This is just not. This woman here is just not that caliber of actor. She's a part. She's a part player, and her part has just gotten bigger than her talent is able to handle.
And it's circumstantial that she's in the position she's in now.
Yeah. So I mean,
it was not the original intent that she was going to take over and be the main character of the show.
Well, they did make her president before.
Yeah, but she was. I think it was always going to be. Frank was always going to be
the power behind it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what they would have done if he would have still been in good standing. I'm curious how that would have gone. But I mean,
they basically rewrote the whole season.
Yeah, they had to
after the incident. Yeah,
they had to. So I mean, with that being said, Kevin Spacey ain't shit.
Hey, you got some good memories of him.
But he was interesting as fuck. He was Kaiser Sose.
He was Kaiser Sose.
And Frank Underwood.
He's Frank Underwood, and he was John Doe in 7.
And he was the negotiator.
And he was the negotiator. Damn, I forgot about that. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just
That was a tough one right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
sounds like to me that you would watch Kevin Spacey movies again and probably tune into anything else that he plays in just to be curious. But so, do you listen to R. Kelly's music still now?
I wasn't an R. Kelly fan at the time, so
okay.
Yeah, I kind of let R. Kelly go after 12 play.
Yeah,
I was pretty much done after that. Before I knew what he really was.
I got Apple Music now, and I don't even bother looking him up. Even that Triple Extensacion, whatever the guy's name is, yeah, the one that got shot up in Florida. Yeah, I don't even listen to his shit no more neither, though. Or I never did really. So,
what's his problem?
That's the let me pull him up because I don't really know much about him. I know his music sounded kind of nice, but at the same time, though, like there was
What he do?
Was he into some bullshit?
Yeah, he was dating little kids,
Kids?
minors, like
He's on that Drake shit.
yeah.
You still listen to Drake though?
No, not since our last episode, that last conversation. Not since the last conversation. Nah, don't put that shit out there neither.
Somebody killed this dude?
Was
yeah,
that?
yeah, no, that was a big issue. You didn't hear about that? That was this summer, man. I mean, I don't know nothing about the dude. I just know
They killed him about the kid he was touching?
Who?
I don't know
Who's this?
What the issue was, but I know it was two people who Mac Miller, white dude, rapper.
I know about him.
And this dude, I think, got shot before that. You know what I'm saying?
This
So,
Estacion or whatever? This guy, Triple X? So, this guy right here, I mean, he makes decent music or whatever, but apparently there was reports that he had let me see if it's on here. He had raped somebody.
oh, shit.
Raped or...
Hey, well, he's going then. You know.
Damn. That nigga said, fuck him.
Yeah, and,
I mean, he out here. He out here.
He need to be
He out here cosbying.
he what?
Damn.
Oh, damn.
If he out here cosbying, I mean, come on.
He on that Cosby shit. Nigga, fuck him.
Well, there
Fuck him
it is. I think it's...
Fuck him against the wall. Fuck him. Fuck him.
See, there you go. This is, let's see.
Oh.
Hold on. We're going to watch Triple Extensacion or whatever.
We don't need to watch anything, do we?
No, it's you're going to listen to it.
I'm on this guy.
Oh, shit. My bad, guys.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. He's gone. Bye-bye.
Damn.
He's out here cosbying and Ike Turner.
Yeah, that's basically...
Yeah, okay. Bye-bye.
Here you go.
I started fucking her up, bro. Until now.
What is that?
Hold on.
What is this?
What nobody's understanding, I put my source of happiness in another person, which was a mistake initially, right? But she fell through on every occasion until now. Until I started fucking her up, bro. But I started fucking her up because she made one mistake. And then from there, the whole cycle went down. Now she's scared. That girl is scared for her life, which I understand. You see me. You know what I do to people. You know, all of them boys know. It's on fucking New Times. I'm on New Times for stabbing. How many people they put in the news? They said 3. It was 8. In Deerfield.
Yeah, this is excellent. You know, all those people that defended this kid, you know, murder, calling him comparing him to Tupac. There's a lot of people that are comparing him to Tupac.
Nigga, I heard you compare him to Tupac.
No. I brought that up. I did not compare. We got recordings. We got recordings.
Tupac,
no, I never say he was Tupac. No. Don't put that shit out there. No. We got recordings. We got.
We gonna go back in the woods, man. We gonna dig in the crates, nigga. We gonna find out for real.
That's fine. But anyhow, so that's this guy. He got gunned down, and you know, and then like Little Peep, you know, people are praising him too. But he had Little Peep, another white rapper, and then you have Mac Miller. I don't know what happened with Mac Miller though. Some fuckery shit came out.
Yeah.
He overdosed. I did hear about that one.
Well, I mean, I know he overdosed, but I didn't know he had like did any little kids or anything like that.
Who said that?
No. What? Nigga, what?
Wait,
I didn't hear that about him.
No,
what'd
you say, Jeff? I mean, you said something.
I said he died. I said the triple X dude died.
No, Triple X got gunned down.
And they died in the same. Yeah, he got murdered, but he's dead.
Yeah.
So
they both dead.
I'm saying they both are dead in a similar time period.
Oh.
That is the connection that I'm making there. That's it. There's no. They both are rappers.
They are both rappers.
Allegedly.
We're rappers. We're rappers.
Alleged rappers.
They are alleged to be rappers. I don't know if they can rap or not. with the nigga they whatever.
Yeah, because it wasn't Mac Miller a rapper per se. He seemed like he was one of them sing-songy dudes.
That's what this Extension guy was. He's
They both sing-songy?
Yeah, sing-song. Let me see.
No, we don't need to play the
Okay.
We gotta do that.
That's right up Frank Alley, man. He like them sing-songy dudes. He like Drake.
Oh, see, that's your second attempt at that shit. I'm not gonna bite.
Nigga, fuck, you ain't got no bite, nigga. There's record, nigga. There's fucking tape on this shit, nigga. That's your dude.
I think I do remember you saying that Drake was your dude.
Drake is your dude.
Okay,
That's
there's
dude,
tape
man.
now. Drake is not my dude. So
man, he been your dude, though.
hey, listen, if the press, that's fake news. That's fake news.
Because he's out here touching little girls.
No,
but
that's
before
fake.
that,
That's fake
I think
news.
that was your guy.
Nigga, Drake was your man. Drake, you fuck with Drake, nigga.
He out here grooming little girls.
Oh,
like,
man,
like
come on,
doing
come
like Woody Allen and shit.
All right, we gonna ring this
Nigga,
back in.
You go 0 to 100, nigga, real quick.
Hey, listen.
Real fucking quick.
Wait, we gotta avoid duck boats at all possible costs. But I'm glad you're talking about little. I'm glad you're talking about little girls. Little girls. So we're gonna segue into another girl.
Okay. Wow. This nigga said, "I'm glad you're talking about little girls." We gonna segue into another girl.
Into another girl.
See,
nigga, Frank gonna segue into another girl.
Oh
nigga,
my
not
God,
about another girl. Nigga, he going to another girl. You nigga, you hold up, man. I'm worried, nigga. You sound a little rapey right now, nigga.
No, not rapey. Frank is not
sound
rapey at all.
You sound Cosby-esque.
I don't want to be a participant in rape culture.
Nigga,
So-
you out here.
so here we go.
fucking
Here we go.
Kavanaugh it up, man.
Wait, really? Do we really got something?
I'm a Caucasian because everything about me is different from an African American. I have naturally straight hair. My hair isn't nappy. It doesn't require weave. My nose is not giant as like African Americans. My lips are perfect. They're not too big and they're not too small. Like, they're just perfect. My ears, I don't have black people ears because they're really giant. Most African Americans speak ghetto. But when it comes to black people, I think they're all ugly and I have nothing in common with them.
All right, so what you guys are listening to is a 16-year-old that was on Dr. Phil. She's an African American. She's a black young female, and she's saying that she's white. So have you guys seen this video yet?
Yeah, Frank, that's a scam, man.
Yeah, man. It's just a scam. It's a way to get on television.
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
And to get a free trip to wherever Dr. Phil is.
Well, we know that now, but just going back to what we were talking about with Candace Owens or whatnot, even in the previous episodes, you know, there has to be a cash grab.
This is ridiculous. Candace Owens is ridiculous, but in a different way.
Oh, we got other ones. Did you guys see the other ones? What I shared on the talking points?
What else you got?
Chat.
What else you got?
Okay. We're gonna do this.
Cue it up, my dude.
Yeah.
Cue it up. What's up with it, man? Because I don't know that first one, man. That was a swing and a miss, bro.
With the girl, black girl magic.
Yeah, man. Now we already knew about that. That she ain't worth nobody's time because she's over here trying to get a free trip.
All right, so have you guys heard of Chad Williams Owen?
What's that about?
This is let's see. This is Mr. Chad Williams Owen, a black male Trump supporter.
Oh, this is terrible. I mean, but he ain't saying he's white, is he?
No. I mean, it's not to that.
I mean, there's a bunch of these out there, man. I mean, there's and they get the spotlight because there's all that noise.
All that noise. So here's one of the ones from. This is a reference to Candace Owens. Hold on.
Kanye didn't design them. Bro, y'all be mad, bro, because, like, Kanye didn't design them damn Brexit clothes. Who cares? I don't give a f***. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. It's a movement. It's not about who made my hat. You understand?
Okay, that we just heard Noah Swader. Another part. He was on that on part of that Brexit um, march or whatever that was, or not protest, but just showing that was in front of the White House. I think one of you had shared the video of like all the young black men wearing the "Make America Great Again."
That was disturbing to me.
Yeah, so this excuse me. This is Noah Sweater. I'm not sure if he's like a big player in this, or how close to the big players he is, but he's one of the like basically people that they now is kind of like an unofficial spokesperson, almost not spokesperson, but the face of the movement. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this is him talking about the Brexit or whatnot. A couple days ago. So
in the past 2 days, this weekend, Republicans and conservatives have done more for me than the Democrat Party has done my entire life. November 6th, I'm going to take my mom to vote, I'm going to take my friends to vote, and we'll all walk away. Also, a big shout out right over there to Ms. Lieberman. Ms. Lieberman has been fantastic. Thank you all so much for your time. Thank you all so much. Trump 2020.
anyhow, so he's part of like the Candace Owens Brexit movement too. So I mean, there's people out there. I don't know if these are planted. You know, I don't know if these people really believe in this stuff, but there are people out there.
Well, I think, yeah, there are people who side with the Republican side of things, and in normal times, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Right, in normal times, I agree with you on that one. That's well said.
In normal times, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But what I have a problem with is the rhetoric that has come from the Trump camp. The thumbs up that the nationalist movement, the nativist movement has had over the time, that it's really based in racism. And anybody who is an African American, anybody who's Latino American, that is willing to side with Trump is really just a fucking coon, man. I mean, there's really nothing else to say about that, man. And anybody's willing to say that the Trump, and I understand wanting that to protect the borders and have a sovereign nation and be clear about who's coming into the country, and I get all that. That makes sense. But at the same time, when the rhetoric surrounding it is strictly based on race, I don't see how you can be a self-respecting black man or black woman and support this dude, man. I mean, it's just so. What I'm saying to you is this day of spin, this day of trying to portray in the media a certain image. Yes, they've gone out and they found 400 fuckers who are willing to go out there and support this asshole and do that shit publicly. Put 400 African Americans in this quote unquote Brexit movement. Motherfuckers, y'all black motherfuckers can go ahead and exit. Because y'all fucking barbecue pass has been taken anyway. Nobody gives a fuck about y'all. Go ahead and go. It is disconcerting to see. When you see a movement like that, and you see a group of people gathering, you think, okay, well, maybe they're representative of a larger population that feels like that. I feel like these motherfuckers are probably in isolation, and they're representing themselves as bigger than they need to be, and so they have found every little coon they can find and rounded their ass up and brought them to the White House and to act like they represent a larger movement, but it's probably really a few fuckers. I don't know, man. I just think these motherfuckers, they don't represent. There's no fucking Brexit, man. We saw in the polls. In Florida. What was it in Florida? Like 95% of black people, black women especially, but black men maybe what, like 87% voted for the Democrat. Fucking 95% of women voted for the Democrat, but then it was fucking white men and white women that just sold out.
Yeah, especially white women.
Yeah,
especially
man.
white women, and they've done that.
There's no fucking Brexit, man. There's a few fucking outcasts.
It's because where are they gonna go?
Yeah, nigga, shit.
Yeah,
they not going over to the Republicans.
Fuck.
Yeah. And then other than that, it's just no man's land.
That's what it is, man.
So, so if you're gonna have any type of say, like any influence, the Democratic Party's where it's at. It ain't the best place to be. But
no, it's not.
Like all we got.
Right.
That's all the fuck we got, man.
Yeah.
At least until the rules change. You know what I'm saying? At least until there's a legitimate threat. You know what I mean? Of like a third party. But until then, we have to play.
Yeah.
But even then, like I don't know.
I don't know. I heard Kasich talking about that. Kasich was what was he on? John Kasich, the former governor of Ohio, who ran against Trump in the primary.
Yeah, he was on CNN.
Was CNN? He was talking about, man, the Democrats have gone so far left.
Daily Show? It might have been Daily Show. I don't know.
Daily Show. That's exactly what it was. It was with Trevor Noah. It was on Daily Show. The Democrats have gone so far left, and Trump has drugged the fucking Republican Party. The Tea Party had already drugged it to the right, but Trump has just solidified. He just rubber stamped that shit to the fucking right, the far right.
Right.
Kasich is like, dude, that might. He says you're not going to be able to out-prime, like fucking Kobach, you're not going to be able to out-primary Trump. But if you come down the fucking middle, there might be a lane where people say, look, I'm looking for I'm looking for a centrist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I don't know who the Democrats are going to put out there. I think we're going to have a battle royale in 2 years, and we're going to find out what that's going to be. The Republicans are definitely going to put Trump back out there unless he's impeached, unless there's something.
Yeah, unless maybe he's forced to resign, possibly. That's a possibility.
Yeah, unless we find something from the Mueller investigation where he's got the fucking...
He has been known to quit. When the going gets too tough.
Right. When he got a Russian bitch pissing on his bed and they got the video from that shit, then we might give him to quit. But until then, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta be big.
When he just out here just drinking in golden showers. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Then he might step aside then, but until we get that video, I'm going to assume that in 2 years he's going to be running again. You know what I'm saying? But there may be a lane for Kasich or somebody like Kasich to pull a Ross Perot. And what I'm saying is, okay, so either I don't know if the independent is going to be able to do it. But if Kasich were to go ahead and run independent, because he said he wouldn't try to out primary Trump, because he said there's no doing that, because the base is going to vote Republican. They're basically going to vote Trump. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do that outside the base. You're going to have to do it with those independent, the undecided voters. If Kasich comes in there and he draws enough independents away from the right, that might open the lane up for Joe Biden.
But that's what happened this last election.
With
Bernie Sanders. No, but that's what I'm saying with Bernie Sanders.
No, Bernie Sanders was not running.
He wasn't running. But after the primary, he conceded. But he didn't go out there and tell his voters.
Dude, but he ran in the primary. I'm talking about Kasich is talking about not running in the primary.
Okay.
He's talking about going in the general election as an independent.
Right. Like kind of like what Jill Stein did.
Well, yeah, Jill Stein ran, yeah. But what I'm saying, Jill Stein is not John Kasich.
Right, but she took votes on the Democratic side. Those that were leaning,
Well,
centrist.
shit, fucking, what's his name, Johnson, took votes from the libertarian side. So I mean, there was.
They're always there. Those are always there. They're there every.
Right.
But those, the Green Party and
the libertarians are always.
And the libertarians are always there. That's status quo. But I'm talking about a legit dude. Kasich is
like Ross Perot was. Ross Perot was legitimately split the. He got 15-20% of the vote.
Something silly like that.
That's significant for a third party.
For a third,
He might have even got an electoral vote or two.
He might have.
He might have even got an electoral vote or two. I have to go back and double check that. But what I'm saying, Kasich is a legit heavyweight politically. Like he stayed in the Republican primary for a long time on that thing. We know who Kasich is. Mm-hmm. He's from a state that is a pivotal state in terms of electoral votes. Kasich could really draw the moderate Republican vote away from Trump just enough
to allow the Democrat to come in.
To slide right in. But you got to say that quietly though.
Yeah.
You can't be out here saying that to the point where everybody knows the game plan. You gotta whisper that shit.
No, our levels are up. It doesn't matter how low we talk. The levels are gonna be up. It doesn't matter.
Everybody don't need to know.
They don't need to, bro. They don't need to know.
This is where we all look at each other. We were in front of each other, and we just gave each other either what we call the nigga non. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nigga, hey, look. I just get this the wink, nigga. Look, they don't need to know.
Right.
Wink.
Right. So you're saying so let's get right into it then. So I was actually looking at the Texas race. I wanted to see what Beto O'Rourke did, and I was surprised, man. I was just like the rest of the country was. I was really surprised how much pull he had, and I was really surprised that fuckface Ted Cruz pulled it off. I mean, to me, I'm surprised.
I wasn't surprised.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised in the sense. I mean,
I knew this was going to be a really tough race for Beto to.
Really?
I mean, it's Texas, man.
Yeah,
Texas.
But he flipped a couple house seats, man.
Oh, he had. No, I'm not saying he didn't have any. I'm not saying Beto didn't have any influence. It
was impactful. It was
very impactful, but I just thought that he would probably come up short.
Yeah, but I didn't think he would. I mean, he made it competitive, though. I mean, I really didn't think it was going to be that competitive. But going into the night and seeing how it was unfolding, I was like, oh shit, he was out here for real.
He was constantly too. He was in. You talking about in the streets? Beto was out there in the streets. He was literally going house to house, hitting every county.
Yeah, every county, bro.
I mean, I would say this, man. I think the dynamics of Texas are changing, man. I think
Texas. They are. No, that's definitely true.
Texas
demographics are changing.
Is a state where it is attracting new people to move there.
Right.
And so the job market, if the Republicans want credit for that, fine. The Republicans have credit for it. They made the job market one to where people want to move to Texas to get a job. Austin has become. Right. Now I haven't been there. I haven't been to Austin, but what I hear about Austin is that Austin has become the new hipster town.
It is
where it's growing tremendously, and tech industries and that type of thing. Young people want to be in Austin.
Yeah, no, it is. I got one of my boys lives in Austin. That's pretty much.
I
mean, it's definitely hipster. Yeah. It's like the Portland of the Southwest.
Yeah. So I mean, I got family in, James and I got family in Fort Worth and Dallas. Mm-hmm. I've got family in Houston. I've been to San Antonio. So we know that people are moving down to this territory, and I feel like it's. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I'll tell you something that happened with Trump that Trump lost the Latino support that Republicans had in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That George Bush had had a lot of currency.
He had a coalition. He had a coalition.
Yeah. In Texas, and then and Trump just blew all that, so they lost all those Latinos for the most part, and the Latino population is growing down there, so they're becoming a voting bloc that's leaning more towards the Democratic side now.
Well, they're also saying not just the metro areas, but the suburb areas are also, because you're attracting those different diversity. Your metropolitan areas, but just like in Austin. I mean, Austin itself, it is happening. That's the place to be for music. Music, tech,
and Beto's area where he's from, down in the El Paso area, they say that is really about to explode population-wide down there. And there's lots of Latinos down there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, but it's one of those things that, like, even in Austin, Texas, like it's so expensive to live there. People live on the outskirts. So even if you go in there, go down to Austin, Texas, and to move, relocate or whatever, your money is gonna go further in the outskirts. And like even Lake Travis, that's not too far from Austin, Texas. That's where a lot of like people live in that area, even though it's kind of like another. That's like the Beverly Hills of in comparison.
I think all those factors have contributed to why Beto was able to make this a super competitive race.
So do you think?
But in the end, those small little rural red counties push Ted over the top, and they still there. And they all still vote.
Somebody in the messenger put "racist going race" or "racist" or something like that. To that extent, that was pretty funny though. But so what do you think? So we talked about it before. I don't know if we have, but I know me and Winston have. Roger have. So who can the Democrats put out there right now? And I think Beto has a good shot of trying to get that ticket.
If everybody that's out there right now, Beto was the best bet.
Yo, I don't know. I think
somebody else could emerge, but right now,
I think
seems like Beto.
I think a good run. I don't know who will be a good running mate partner for him, but Beto is not. He is the prime candidate. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they don't try to sneak him in as a vice VP or whatnot. I don't know. I'll be curious to see what happens. I mean, if John Kasich does that something like that to take away votes from the Republican side or get those moderate Republicans vote, if that strategy goes into play, you put a strong running mate with Beto O'Rourke. I mean, shit. But I think depending on.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I just
I mean,
look, I think Beto was dynamic, and I think in several other states he would have been successful.
Yeah.
If you can't win your own state, though, man.
But I think that Beto had national appeal.
Oh, he definitely had national appeal.
Yeah,
that's part of the reason why I say that.
But you can't win Texas, though.
Yeah, but who's to say you can't win California and Florida?
Well, he would win
and
California.
New York.
I mean, if he's the guy, he's going to win New York and California automatically.
Yeah, but we know that gerrymandering is heavy right now, and gerrymandering affects the national election.
Can he win Missouri? Can he win Kansas? Can he?
I mean, he could win some. He could win some over, just like he won red.
Can he flipped Florida? Red. Can he win Ohio? Those are the questions.
But he flipped red areas in Texas to blue.
Oh, it was impactful. The blue wave. Yeah. There were a lot of people who came out to vote for Beto. whatever his name is.
I think he has.
That ended up voting for the Democratic congressman in their district.
Yeah, they flipped like four seats.
They flipped several seats in Texas.
Yeah,
The
Dallas area was one of them.
Well, Dallas, the metropolitan area.
Yeah, got
no, they flipped. It was a red. It was red. They flipped it to blue. Whatever the district falls in that Dallas area or Dallas County or whatever it is.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was a
former football player, right? Yeah. But
no, I think Beto has the momentum right now. Yes, he lost Texas, but I mean not by much, and he had a significant impact overall in Texas.
Because when you're talking about Missouri,
I don't. And you know what? And also, Beto's not 80 years old.
He's not. And
to be honest, I put it this way: Beto should show up in Iowa.
Oh, he will.
I think he could win Des Moines. The Des Moines crowd, I think he could win. And I think he could, if he takes Des Moines, he could take the state of Iowa. To be honest, because I think Iowa's it's going to be a battleground. And I think he could flip Iowa, especially if he brings that message to Texas, to the rural Texans, and he brings similar messages to Iowa with the farming industry and being able to connect with them. I think he could bring some of those pull some of those moderate Republicans, and I think he could do that in the Midwest, west of the Western Midwest. I think he could do that. Now, it's going to depend on where he decides to pick his battles and fight and go what grounds what states he's going to go and visit. But I mean, I definitely think he could get. I think nationally, I think he could get Texas.
Iowa's where it starts. That's more the point. I think.
Yeah. The point I was making is that Iowa is the first primary. Iowa, then New Hampshire, then South Carolina.
Yeah, those are like litmus tests. If you make it there. You can make it, I don't know, anywhere, but you can make it further, and you're considered a legitimate candidate if you can win those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's what it was for Brock.
Well, I mean, he hasn't declared. At this point, he hasn't declared anything.
Right.
But the thing is, where else can he go? Because he's kind of started at the top. He started as senator, so it's not like he can try to get if he goes for a Congress House seat.
He already had a house. He already had a House seat.
That's right. He had a House seat already.
He already had a House seat. So here's the question: Can you run for Senate and retain your House seat?
No, I don't. No, you have to do one or the other. You have to get one or the other one up. Yeah.
Did he? Is that in the rules?
Yeah, if you win, you give it up.
If I run for president and I'm a senator, I keep my Senate seat.
Yeah, you can keep your Senate seat. If you're still,
why the fuck I can't keep my House seat and run? Why I can't be on both rosters? Why can't have a safety net that if I don't win senator, I at least hold on to the House? I don't know.
Well, the one thing is with the Senate seat, those aren't every 2 years, so you may not be up for election.
I think it's every 6 years. I think for Senate.
But what I'm saying, if I'm running for every year I run for Senate,
if you're a congressman and you're running for a Senate seat, your Congress seat is going to be up at that time. You can't run both races.
Right.
Why not?
You can't run for Congress and Senate at the same time.
Why the fuck I can't?
Because the cycles are off. They're on off years.
They're not off. They're on at the same time. If I'm saying what the fuck I'm saying, what I'm saying for the Senate applies to the fucking House. If I'm saying to you that I'm going to be the best man for the job, I'm the best man for this job too. I'm going to the same fucking building. It's just where I'm going to sit on the left side of the lower side of the hill or the upper side of the hill.
It don't work like that.
Why the fuck you don't?
I don't know.
I don't know. You're the historian. You're the historian of the podcast.
I'm just saying. I'm asking. I don't know. There's something. I mean, that's something I don't know about. I'm asking.
All right. So on the next episode, we expect a concise.
Well, you find an example of somebody running for both seats.
Yeah,
I just did. His name is Beto O'Rourke. Man.
What? No, Beto O'Rourke.
No, he's not running for both. He wasn't running for both seats.
He could have been.
He was. No, he can't. That's what I'm saying.
I think you have to.
You have to give up the.
Where the fuck is the bylaw that says he can't?
I'm sure it's somewhere or it's understood.
if he running unopposed or he running against some fucking lame ass motherfucker that can't beat him, why fuck he can't say I'm about to hedge my bets on this?
Nah, you can't hear. That's it. You got to make a commitment, man. You got to do one or the other.
I am committed to running the Senate, but if you want to vote for me here, look, vote for me, and then like Frank, if I win both, then we'll just have to have a runoff, and I'm not gonna be able to take this seat back. I'm gonna have to relinquish the seat. But you know what I'm saying? You know what it is.
No, hold on.
Nigga,
What?
you know what it is.
Are you drinking?
Nigga, you know what it is.
Hold on. Can I run for House and Senate at the same time? Well, somebody must have asked it because
hey man,
Google was on.
He need to run for is Angela Rye.
Oh, here you go. No person shall hold at the same time more than one of the following offices.
Hold one of the offices. I'm not talking about holding. I'm talking about running.
Okay, well, somebody
we're not talking about the same. Yeah,
Okay.
That ain't the same thing.
Okay, hold on.
Angela Rye need to run for office, man. She's sexy.
I don't like her.
She's intelligent though, bro. She speaks. I
don't like her for some reason.
How are you not like her? She speaks truth to power, bro.
Don't like her, man. Something about her I don't like. Something about her I don't know.
Nigga,
she said some. I don't like it. There's something about her, man.
What is it like? What, nigga? Is she too attractive?
Well,
is
who
she too
this?
intelligent?
Who
Nigga,
is this?
What is it you don't like about her, man?
Who is
she
this?
Too black?
Who are we talking about?
Her attitude.
Her attitude is I'm not putting up with the bullshit, nigga.
Who are we talking about?
Angela Rye, man. She's a commentator on CNN. She's a regular. Dude, she's straight up. She says exactly what the fuck she feels. And so
I listened to her podcast a few times, and she's like super arrogant, man.
I'm not saying she's not arrogant. I'm not saying she's not arrogant.
She was like, yeah, I just couldn't stomach it. I'm like, nah, you think too much of yourself. I mean, you need to ease back a little bit. I think that's what it is. I just think she just like seems like incredibly stuck up and arrogant to me. And that's why. I mean, I appreciate she's on point a lot, and I know she gets your thing off on CNN. That's cool. But I just don't like. I just don't feel like she's a good person.
I just feel like you hate.
That sounds like hate.
I just feel like you hating, bro.
I'm not. I just said that she does her thing. I just don't like her.
I mean, she doesn't have a butt though. I mean, she's cute and all. She's attractive. I mean,
okay. I don't know, but the whole. You must have did some research, nigga. You must have dug the internet, nigga. All I see is fucking headshots when she on CNN, bro. That's all.
Don't you? I'm seeing. I'm showing it to y'all right now.
I don't know what you be on. Nigga, you be on C-SPAN, nigga. What you be on, nigga? I don't know what you on, man.
No, I'm on Google. I put on there Angela Rye hot, and
Duck votes, nigga. Duck votes.
I mean, come on. I'm not. Look, let's be real. I'm looking. You mentioned her looks. I'm gonna see if it's true, and it is true. I just don't know how. She might be an intellectual person, but she's really attractive, to say the least.
She's the package, bro. Common fuck with her. I think she date Common.
And so Common is your meter, your good person meter.
Common. Look. Common's batting average is impeccable, nigga.
I mean, it ain't Derek Jeter.
Oh yeah, there they are right there.
Nigga, Common fuck with Serena.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, Common fuck with Erykah Badu. Nigga, Common got a compass, nigga.
Yeah, he had a few more too.
Yeah, man, I'm sure I don't keep up with them like that, nigga. But I know them three right there. I know them three.
Yeah.
Nigga. So I'm like, dude, yeah, Common got a fucking look. He know where True North is, nigga. He got a compass.
Yeah. All right.
So he fuck with. Look, she get my vote.
Okay, so Here we are. Angela arrived for 2020.
Is it up there, nigga? Yeah, man. I'm look, start the website, nigga. I'm voting.
You're gonna put for Rye and O'Rourke. See, if Angela and Beto run, they have to use the first name. James, you know.
Hey, man. Hey, look. This is
there
fucking
it is. See,
She don't want that anyway. She want to be a star. She don't want to be a politician. She want to be a star, man.
Dude, she could be a star.
Yeah, she's really waiting to get her. She wants that to see her on CNN show. That's what she wants.
Yeah, she wants her own.
She can get that too. She can get that too.
She want what you call it spot. She want Cuomo's spot.
She can get that too.
Nah, she ain't gonna get Cuomo's spot. I mean, Cuomo would have to get promoted though.
Nigga, she can get Wolf Blitzer's spot. He about to die.
Nah, I think Wolf Blitzer. That's a. I mean, he might be dying, but no, that's Jake Tapper's position right there.
She like a young Kamala.
I'm not a big fan of Kamala either.
Oh man, I'll vote for her.
Kamala who? Who's that? Who's this? Oh, Harris?
Yeah.
No, Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Yeah, Kamala Harris.
Kamala, yeah. I vote for her.
I mean,
she'll get my vote.
Why are you voting for her? Let's put that out.
She is extremely intelligent.
I mean,
she is, dude. Y'all laughing like she's not intelligent.
I'm not. No one says she was.
She's a straight party line girl.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
you see her?
We can get some lines and start partying, bro.
Right.
I'll party with Kamala. I'll party with Kamala.
See,
she's in lockstep with the Democrats. She don't.
Real talk. Dude, I mean, she may be in lockstep. But what I'm saying, what are you looking for? You looking?
How old
is she not supposed to be in lockstep?
Wait, hold on.
I mean,
you're looking for opposition to the. You're looking for opposition to the Republican Party. Why she can't represent that?
Damn, she's 54, though. Damn, she's a good-looking. I mean, very attractive, smart, intelligent 54-year-old.
She's a very intelligent 54.
She's extremely very intelligent.
That black and Indian blood.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
That's the real Pocahontas. So is that what you trying to do?
No, hold on. Let's see.
No, she's not that Indian. She's East Indian.
Oh, where?
Indian. Kamala.
Oh,
hold on.
Like Kama Sutra, nigga.
Right.
Oh yeah. She's become the third female U.S. senator and the first Jamaican or Indian descent. So yeah.
Oh snap. Yeah. I vote for both of them. They need to run as a ticket.
Who? Oh, Ryan Harris?
Ryan Harris, bro. Ryan Harris 2020, bro.
Sexiest ticket ever.
That shit. Fuck it. Hey, man, nigga. Hey. First Fridays to be lit, nigga.
Oh, look. Okay, so her mom is Indian, like, forehead, Indian.
Wow, damn.
Wow.
I mean, red dot.
But duck vote, nigga.
Yeah. East Indian, man.
India.
Duck vote.
All right, so, and then Jamaican father, so that's a good combination.
Jamaican Indian.
She can get my vote.
That's I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna leave that up. Man, I'm glad Roger ain't here, dog.
She can get it.
You don't think Pelosi could get it?
No. Why my nigga say
Pelosi's a very intelligent woman too.
Nah, she ain't near about smart as them two.
We ain't talking about that no more.
She ain't near about smart as them two, bro. They are intelligent. Yes.
So
anyway,
all right.
You take that how you want to take it, man.
Right.
All right.
All right.
Look like we're done.
I think this is degenerated to the point. Yeah, we in
I think it's time to say goodnight to all our Negro and Latino friends.
Now it's time to say goodbye to our Negro and Latino friends. Thank you for coming out.
Right. Please tip your bartenders or your waitress.
Well, at least we didn't have a "you ain't shit" moment today. So.
No, not today.
Not today.
We kind of flirted with it there for a second though.
Yeah, man.
I
be flirting. I be flirting with my votes too, bro. I would flirt with voting for Angela.
What you gonna give me if I vote for you?
Say, girl. You looking mighty.
You want this vote?
You looking mighty good on that ballot, girl.
Oh man. Anyhow, so yeah, it's that time.
Okay.
It's that time. You know, hey, I want to thank Joe and James to Jefferson for joining me on this episode and safe travel to the KC Stork.
Yep.
Any closing remarks
where is he at? New York?
Look, I'm not gonna put his thing. I'm not gonna put his location, but yeah, whereabouts in those same whereabouts in the vicinity area of where you just mentioned. Yes.
Okay.
You know,
in the boroughs, he trying to burrow.
Right.
Hey, listen.
What he trying to burrow in?
I mean, sure. Hey.
He over there casting his vote, huh?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, he casted something. But,
oh, snap.
Yeah. But anyhow, yeah, we got to get off because. And then anyway, any closing remarks from you guys?
Not really. I think we said everything needs to be said tonight.
All right, Joe.
Yeah. Pretty much.
You're still thinking about Rye and Harris
Vote
2020, huh?
The Rye Harris ticket.
Who you gonna put on top? Ooh, dude.
All right, see? All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Who we gonna put on top of the ticket, nigga? Who gonna be on the bottom of the ticket? Who gonna be on the top of the ticket, bro?
Who's gonna hold that ticket?
Who's gonna be in the middle?
Oh, bro. Hey, I'm be up in the. Hey, look, I'm be in the middle of that ticket, bro. I'm casting all these votes, bro.
Oh, okay.
I think we had to put Harris ride ticket. That's the Harris ride ticket.
Harris ride.
Harris ride, about right.
The Harris ride seat. Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right. With that said, thank you for joining us. Before we get more ratchet, thank you, James. Thank you, Joe. You have been listening to another episode of Negroraguan Podcast. I am your one half of the I-70 Connect, one of your hosts, and the KC Stork is the other half. He's not here. And that's all. We have nothing else to say. And enjoy the music.